both teams coming off of a game 7. Cleveland and Detroit were in Detroit. Like, I don't know if James Harden knows it was game 1 and not game 6, but that was a very game 6 performance from him. 6 of 15 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3, 7 turnovers, more turnovers than field goals made for him.
29th time in his playoff career, more turnovers than field goals.
But it's like, that was an appalling performance. Like, he couldn't get by Duncan or Robinson. He was losing the ball with Robinson on him. And I'm like, come on, man. I know Duncan's a little bit better defender than we want to give him credit, but like, holy cow.
It was less than ideal, to say the least. I thought that they didn't get a particularly good performance from their front court guys either. Obviously, Jared Allen in foul trouble in the first half, only plays 6 minutes, but then he only plays, 12 minutes in the second half?
Yeah,
he gets 18 minutes. He goes 1 for 4 from the field, only 2 points, 3 rebounds. Granted, they were +4 in his minutes, and I thought maybe he could have closed down the stretch because Evan Mobley wasn't having a particularly good game either. I thought he was struggling with the physicality on the inside, which is something that we talked about coming into the series. Like, were the Cavs big guys going to be able to deal with the physicality up front? And it didn't feel like they were in this game. I thought the biggest sequence of the game was the Cavs somehow come all the way back and tie the game. It's 93-93. Cade misses a floater in the lane. Then Harden comes down on the other end, gets a floater blocked by Jalen Duren. Cade Duren pick and roll. Cade drops it off to Duren on the inside. Jalen Tyson comes down, misses a floater. Cade, either Cade Robinson or Cade Jenkins, pick and roll, drops it off to Duren on the inside. Cavs come down, miss again. Cade gets downhill, drops it off to Duren again. 3 possessions in a row, Cade to Duren, to push the lead back up to 6, and that was the sequence that basically decided the game.
And this was a good Duren game, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think
even though he didn't score, he only had 5 points until that sequence, and he was already playing well before that. Like, despite the fact that he wasn't doing a ton offensively, he was already playing very well.
They had no answer for him on the boards. He had 7 offensive rebounds. Had 12 total rebounds, 7 of them offensive. Mm-hmm. Like, that was like, when we were talking about the physical, that's what we're talking about, right? Like, that's where that's where we're worried about the Cavs. And then on top of that, 19 turnovers. You're not going to win a game. You're not going to win a playoff game that way when you're giving away 19 possessions. Coincidentally, like, it's funny that didn't lead to a lot more shots for the Pistons. They only outshot them by 4, but they also got to the line 35 times because they were the aggressor. It wasn't the refs. It wasn't officiating. It wasn't flopping. They were the aggressors in that game, and you could see it in the way they came out. They built a huge lead. It looked like Cavs didn't have anything. They slowly chipped away, like you said, get back to 93, tie it up. But I'm impressed with the Pistons because they could have easily folded right there. Fuck, we blew this lead. Like this, they just kind of stepped it up. And like you said, they just go to work in that instance. I was pretty impressed with their performance. I'm pretty sure I picked the Cavs, right, to win the series. I don't remember. But 31 points conceded off of the turnovers. You can't do that, man.
A bunch of that was on dead ball turnovers, though, which is really interesting, where they would come and score off of the dead ball turnover. Like, I remember in the first half, they had 20 points off the turnovers in the first half alone. And Nate Duncan was saying on Twitter or Blue Sky or somewhere that only 7 of them came off of live ball turnovers. So they had 13 points off of dead ball turnovers, which is really, like, even more impressive. But the fact that they were scoring off of so many of the giveaways is obviously huge.
Well, it's just turnovers in general just kill you because it take away your chance to score. And then when you let them score off of it, like, it's just brutal in the way they played. Wasn't really impressed with Donovan Mitchell's game either. I don't feel like he played with any real intention. Like, the numbers look fine. 9 of 19, 4 of 10 from 3, 23 points, 3 turnovers. The 3 turnovers look good better when you compare it to 7 from Harden. I'm going to keep mentioning that. But only got to the line twice. Like, it didn't feel like he was ready to really go at it. And I think that was the thing where I was watching it going like, man, I don't feel like he was as locked in. I don't know if he was tired. I mean, they're the older team in terms of coming off of game 7. But like, you can't say enough about the Cavs, who were just completely locked in. Robinson was great. Tobias Harris continuing his run of I think the last 5 games. Like, you're getting a lot of good stuff. Asur Thompson, solid defensively. Again, just all over the place. Like,
I'm glad you went there because I thought he was phenomenal in this game. He did a great job on Mitchell when he was on him throughout the game. He had 4 offensive rebounds. He has baskets in a variety of ways. He has like a cut off of a Dennis Jenkins pick and roll, just sort of roaming the baseline like he usually does. He had a couple of really nice passes doing the same thing. He gets like a spinning interior dish to Isaiah Stewart. He gets another one pushes off the break, gets the ball to Robinson on the wing, gets it back from him, gets another dish to Stewart on the inside, gets out on the fast break for a couple of dunks. He had a steal in the backcourt, which he wound up giving the ball back right away because he was like falling out of bounds. He had this incredible chase down block on Keon Ellis where, Ellis catches the ball on the steal, like outside the 3-point line. Asar is still below the free throw line when Ellis gets the ball and he just chases him down and blocks it off of the backboard. That was unbelievable. I thought he was fantastic the entire game.
Yeah, he was great. Like, I just think that they were primed and ready to go for this game. And like, this is the first game won they've won in a long time, right? This was a stat I had seen, like, since, like, granted they hadn't been in the playoffs a lot prior to this run, but like, it was like, God, I can't remember. I don't want to give out the wrong stat.
I think they said at the end of the game that they had lost like 12 games in a row in the playoffs to the Cavs.
Yeah. So, well, God damn, that's crazy. That's tough right there. Looking forward to, the easy answer was, what should the Cavs do? Maybe not turn the ball over. Starting point. Was there anything tactically you would look at with the Cavs? Like, for my biggest issue is I don't think they played with any force. And I think it's not a tactical thing. It's a force thing. And the problem is that's kind of been the makeup of their team for the past few years.
I was going to say the exact same thing, that I don't know if it's tactics. You got to get Harden and Mitchell going downhill, and you got to get Mobley and Allen playing with more physicality on the inside, and you need Allen to be on the court for more than 18 minutes.
I do want to mention this guy, because this guy I thought was going to swing the game for the Cavs. Max Strus was awesome.
Yeah.
He was great. Like, he came in, and we've talked about it, sometimes it's a little bit crazy. Like, he's got that Miami craziness in him, a little bit of cafecito, and he goes a little nuts. But like, he had a nice run where it was Dennis Schroeder drives. This is when they tie the ball game or come close to or start going on that run. Schroeder drives the lane, kicks it out to Strus. Strus immediately drives off that, gets a layup, gets a stop on the other end off a pick and roll, pulls in to poke the ball away. I think it was Isaiah Stewart dropping down. That leads to Dennis Schroeder layup. It made it a 4-point game. Pistons call a timeout. But like, you need to have the Max Strus energy if you're the Cavs. Like, all those guys need to bring that type of juice in game 2. And I think we're going to have a long series. I think this one's going to go, forget what my prediction was. I know I picked the Cavs, but I think this is going to go 7. But I think you need to channel that energy from him. And I'm not going to, maybe I move him into the starting lineup over Dean Wade.
Who's guarding Cade if you do that, though, is the problem.
That's the problem. It's probably going to be Strus, but it's not like, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't feel like Dean Wade did a great job on him either. So, but it's like, if it can jumpstart my offense, or at least my energy and my fight, I might have to consider that.
Yeah, or maybe you start with Jalen Tyson.
Yeah, he was good, but not great in this game. Like, he's had good runs. Sorry, I'm rolling with my chair. This isn't what I'm used to. Normally when I'm podcasting at home, my chair doesn't stay, and I just keep rolling back and forth with my chair like a little dork. If you're watching on YouTube, that's why I kept going back and forth. I think more important, I don't know if you can get a lot out of Dean Wade starting. I think you need to start figuring out either Tyson or even Strus. I know it's questions of who can guard Cade. It's not like I feel like Wade's going to be the answer for you in terms of guarding Cade all that much. Anything else on this one?
Yeah, I thought that Schroeder had a really nice run at the end of the third quarter that helped them spring into that comeback where they cut it to 4 before Ron Holland made the desperation 3 at the end of the third. Oh, the desperation threes by Ron Holland and Javonte Green at the end of the third and first quarters, respectively, were basically the only reason that the Pistons were up by 7 going into the fourth quarter. And then Dennis Jenkins coming back from the dead in the last 2 games where he was really bad at the start of the previous series against the Magic, but Game 7 against the Magic and Game 1 here against the Cavs, I thought he played really well.
He had a great peel off of that led to a turnover. I think it was really where when the game was in the balance in the fourth quarter. He comes off James Harden comes off a pick and roll. He has Duran he has Duran on him. Jenkins slides in front of Mobley to get the deflection, and then it becomes a steal for Duran, who got the loose ball. But like, he is making a lot of smart plays. My only concern is I think it's going to be up and down with him all playoffs. However long their playoffs go, I think you're going to have a couple of good games. You're going to have a couple of bad games. It's just the way it's going to be with him. What you got to hope is he strings more good games than bad games, and for longer stretches, I think is really the situation there. Okay.